Hey, Coach. How you doing?
Eric, how are you?
Good.
Good. All right. We can go ahead and get started. We just got done with our Friday red zone practice, so I'm ready to go with questions.
Sounds good. First up, we got Steve Leventhal.
Yeah. Hi, Coach. Since you mentioned that you were doing red zone practice, one of the issues that's been troubling this team a lot this year has been those, procedure penalties in the end zone. And so what approach could you take to try to mitigate that and the damage it would cause?
What we're trying to do is make sure that it doesn't happen, and that's by talking about it. We had the one that was the first time ever for me being a part of a football game where we got a false start on the 1 yard line with a shift formation. So that we can't put that on the players. You can put that on us and understanding the urgency of when you shift, what the rules are. So that was a good learning moment for us. But we always talk about lining up, making sure we know exactly what we're doing in the red zone. It's crucial times and executing, and so that's you teach it, and that's all you can do,
Pat Finley.
Matt, what can your guys show you with a good performance Sunday? Is there anything left to learn about them?
I would say just the unbelievable trust and belief that they have in us as coaches and we have in them as players. And it's them going out there and doing it. And they're excited to get out there and have an opportunity. It wouldn't shock me, in regards to the way what their performance will be and going out and playing well. I mean, these guys they're hungry and they understand what we've been through together as a team. And they also understand, the magnitude of this game and just where they put themselves at right now to be able to have a chance to win and do some good things.
Looking at what you've been through, not this year, but the past 2 years combined, does that give you an appreciation for being back where you are?
Yeah, it does. Because again, the first year you go 12-4, you win a division, you get to the playoffs, and it's new for a lot of people on that team. And then last year, the way it felt when you weren't in it, and now this year to be back in it. So, to be able to have a chance to be in the tournament, in that dance for 2 out of the 3 years is what these guys have worked for. And again, do we want to have a better year? Absolutely. Do we want to win a division? Absolutely. We'd love to do that every single year and have a bye, but we don't. But every year is different, and these guys found a way to get to it. And now, now you go through this whole week of practice, and now we're going to have an opportunity to see what we're made of on Sunday.
Dan Wiederer.
Man, I got 2 quick ones. What can you share in regards to Roquan? I notice he's questionable for Sunday, but just where he's at.
Yeah, just that. I mean, these guys are questionable, and Roquan did not practice today. Jalen was limited, and the same with Mooney. So they're just completely trying to do everything they can, and that's where they're at. They're questionable.
I tried on that one. Obviously, we've talked in the past about Cam Jordan, but what are you seeing from Trey Hendrickson that gives them sort of extra teeth in that pass rush?
Well, you see a guy that right now he plays really hard, but he understands his leverage and technique. And then I think schematically with the fronts that they present, they do a lot of different things. And so with Cam and his experience, and just the way he plays, he's really smart. You can see how smart he is. And then with Trey, he's an opportunistic guy that plays hard, that's able to get a lot of sacks. And I really, again, I give credit to Coach Dennis Allen for the stuff that he does, man. He makes it really difficult on your scheme. He makes it difficult on your quarterback. He makes it difficult on all your players. And what he does, he changes things up. There's not a lot of tendencies. So that's a good thing if you're a defensive coordinator. And then you take that and you combine it with guys like Trey and Cam that play super hard along with the rest of the guys. And they're a difficult defense. There's a reason why they're ranked top 5.
Larry Mayer.
Hey, Matt, I just wondered what your thoughts are on Cordero Patterson being named first team All-Pro again as a kick returner and the type of impact he can make and change a game for you, especially with the field position.
Yeah, I think anytime somebody gets recognized with these accolades of getting first team, second team, All Pro, Pro Bowl, et cetera, it's always a great honor. It's these guys work hard for that. And then him as a weapon for us. I mean, y'all see it, the different types of games that get played by these kickoff teams and what they want to do and how they try to. You saw it on the first play of the game last week, right, in Green Bay with that situation there at the 1 yard line. So teams have to prepare for him, and then just the confidence that he has and what he's done field position wise, returning one for a touchdown. He's just energetic, and he's a special player that does so many great things. I love the fact that he's getting recognized. And then on top of this too, I mean, y'all know the type of personality that he is, but he's the glue that keeps a lot of us together. And I appreciate about him. You know, he's a positive, happy-go-lucky guy that is very selfless. And it's a reflection and speaks highly of who he is.
Jason Leisure.
Matt, I have a question for you about Mitch Trubisky. You have worked with him for 3 years. You probably couldn't even count the number of hours you've actually spent together and the interactions you guys had. Even when you talk to us, sometimes you sound almost like a dad in the way that you talk about him. Is that more than just a coach-player relationship for you? And what has your experience been in that role as far as watching all the good and bad that he's gone through during your time together?
Yeah, so for sure, when you start talking about relationships with these players and you talk about the amount of time that's invested, so much of that time is really in the off season is where you get so much of that one-on-one time. During the season, when my hat is on as a head coach, there's so many other different things that I have to relate to and make sure I'm staying on top of. So there's still that connection, but it's not the same exact interaction as when it's the off season. I mean, there's been times in the off season, you got to understand, like, he's been over to my house and been with the family and have, whether it's having dinner or just hanging out, like there's a relationship there that goes on in previous years. And as we move through this thing that a lot of people don't see, everyone just sees it as it's something that's on the football field every Sunday. But there's stuff that goes on with all of us, not just Mitchell, but with all these guys that, when tough decisions are made, it's not easy because you have experiences like that you do off the field. And so, for me, being able to grow as a coach, both as a head coach and as a leader for him, it's been very good, and it's been different in the fact that he's growing too, and he's taught me a lot of stuff. So there is that relationship side to it that I think I'm learning from him, he's learning from me, and it definitely makes your relationship stronger, especially when you went through what we went through.
Mark Grody.
Matt, were the New Orleans Saints the best team that you guys faced this year?
They're one of them. We faced a lot of good teams this year, and I don't want to slight any team that we played. But overall, all three phases, they're definitely one of the top ones. And that's why, we talked about, hey, in that game for us, it wasn't good enough because we didn't finish it, but to be able to go punch for punch with them and get to overtime, now we got to finish. But a lot of respect for what they do. Really, I say all three phases, really all four phases with their coaches too.
A couple more for Coach. JJ.
Hey, Matt, the couple times you've played the Saints since you've been the Bears coach, they haven't been at full strength. They haven't had Breeze in a game. They haven't had Kamara. They haven't had Michael Thomas. Now that they have all three of them, when you look back on just how Sean Payton has tailored his game plans to the players that he's had, what stands out about that, and how can you look at that now in a game where they will be at full strength?
Sure. Yeah. He does a great job when they're missing some pieces and being able to adapt to their personnel. When you lose a Hall of Fame quarterback and you end up taking a guy that you have a lot of trust in that plays multiple positions for you, and you say, hey, by the way, now you're just going to play quarterback this game, and you go out and you win a football game. The different things that he does with Teddy Bridgewater last year, put Teddy in great situations to where there was a lot of shorter type passes, but then they pick and choose when they wanted to go deep. They ran screens and worked around them. And then Teddy made good decisions. So I think it just speaks to who Sean is as a coach. He's been doing this a long time. His players have a lot of respect for him, and he's really good at it. So there's a reason why they have success, and he adapts to what he has, and that's a credit to him and his coaches.
Kevin Fishbane.
Hey Matt, what did you appreciate about Jalen Johnson? From what you saw from him this season.
Well, I like the idea of having a short memory if you get beat. There's a couple times where he got beat and he came right back, and it all started in training camp. His mentality, he took it to the season, and I think he learned a lot, understanding how to do little things like watch tape. There's not a lot of people that watch as much tape as Kyle Fuller, and I think it's been great for Jalen to be able to just witness behind the scenes how much tape Kyle sees, and just teaches you how to be a pro off the field. On the field, they're going to go after you being a rookie, but he's really fought hard to get better and better. And I think his arrow is definitely up. It's unfortunate, that he got hurt, but he's working hard to get back. And I think he has a really great attitude, and that's going to be the biggest thing.
Last one, Andy.
Hey, Matt. If Roquan's not available, just how much more difficult is that going to make your job, especially when it comes to dealing with Kamara?
Yeah, no doubt. If he's not available, then there's it automatically for us, just because you say, okay, what level is Roquan playing at this whole entire season? And he's playing at a dominant level. I mean, it's not just like he's not just playing like a good player or a great player. He's playing like there's complete domination the way he's playing. I mean, he's playing on another level. And so when you lose that, that's a part of football. And I think whoever the next guy up that has to step up and go in there and do their thing, we understand that. And then it's our job as coaches too, to know and see that and then work around that and work to that player's strengths. And you can't say that player is Roquan, because they're not. So you got to work to that player's strengths. And then it's the other 10 players around that have to be able to do the same thing, So we'll see where that's at. But if that is the case, then guys got to step up, and we're not the only team going through that right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, y'all take care.
Next up, we're going to have David Montgomery, and he'll be down in a couple minutes. I'll keep you guys updated here. Just a couple more minutes and we'll have Montgomery down here. We got David on his way down right now, everyone. Hey, David, how you doing?
Yeah, what's going on?
Media, we got David Montgomery with us, and we can get underway here. First up, Dan Wiederer.
David, how's it going, man?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. Didn't get to ask you after the game on Sunday, but when you went out of the game on Sunday, what happened?
Man, I just tweaked a little something, but I'm good now.
Yeah, obviously you came back pretty quickly. Overall, as you get ready for your first playoff game, what gives you the excitement about this new stage for you personally in your career?
It's still a football game, ain't it?
Yeah, but everybody, it's yeah.
I'm straight. It's still a football game. Or just go out and ball and have fun.
Pat Finley.
What's it mean to be 1,000-yard rusher?
I mean, I'm just a 1,000-yard rusher, I guess. I mean,
Was that a goal of yours, or?
I was in the beginning, but then it was kind of like I stopped caring about it because I realized how much it didn't really matter. Wins matter, being selfless matters. So it's cool to say, but I mean, that's really all it is. Just somebody saying I was a 1,000-yard rusher. Like I didn't become like the richest human being in the world once I was a 1,000-yard rusher, or I didn't have like a full rack of Gatorades come to my house. It was just somebody said I was a 1,000-yard rusher.
JJ.
David, what do you remember about that game against the Saints earlier this year, and specifically with how Sam Mustipher played in that game, with that being his first start?
I remember that we lost, which sucked. But Sam is Sam, you know what I'm saying? Sam gonna be the best the best teammate he can be at all times. And just to be able to be behind a guy like that, it's refreshing, and it's just awesome to have him there.
I guess that was one of your most productive games before the bye week and things kind of changed with the offense. Just what do you remember that worked against the Saints in that game?
Just playing football. Yeah.
Steve Leventhal.
Yeah, Dave. By the way, nice on the Rick and Morty sporting there.
Where you at? Were you in Antarctica or something?
Well, that's what it feels like today.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like on them. I like the background. You know what I'm saying? I need to give me something like that.
Anyways, I was going to ask you about any differences running on turf in the stadium of the Superdome versus playing on grass as far as your game is concerned.
I don't get grass stains on my pants.
But as far as the cuts, any of the stepping, being able to have more mobility, does that help at all?
Nah, the biggest thing is just the grass stains for real. I know It's hard for them to get that stuff out in the laundry.
Dan?
David, what do you consider the biggest game that you played in college?
In college,
Yeah.
my first game, I didn't want to lose my spot.
Any of the bowl games stand out as bigger to you?
Nah.
Pat,
David, we talked the last couple of weeks about your offensive line and what they've been able to do in this offensive attack, but your yards are up so much over the last 6 weeks. Is there anything that's changed in your game, or is it just a matter of kind of fitting the scheme with your blockers there?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have, try to focus on things I need to improve on. Hitting stuff when I see it. Stop dancing so much, just being decisive and hitting it where I should.
I think we're all set, David. Thanks for your time today.
All right, E.
That's going to be it for availability today. We'll see everyone Sunday post game.